Hello, and how you doing? And welcome back to Two Jagoffs. I, of course, am your host, Austin Cairns, and we are right back here in Point Park University's Media Hub. A little dressed up today because we just had a holiday party and got to give a nice little speech. That speech is out now on all platforms. But this week, we're actually bringing on a very special guest to discuss a lot of things pro wrestling. And if you couldn't tell by the IWC World title that sits right there on the table, this man is the brand new IWC World Heavyweight Champion. He is known as the Hammer Lord. Please welcome to the show, Jami Jameson. Jamie, it's good to see you, my guy.
I'm here, man.
How you doing?
Good, you?
I am doing great. Fresh off a big victory.
Huge.
Congratulations. We formerly had the champion Duke Davis here originally. It was him and Lucas. We kicked Lucas out because it's whatever. But now you're here with the championship. How do you feel, man? How does it feel being champ?
It feels fantastic, man. Yeah, I've been working 8+ years to get to here. So it feels good to finally get the job done.
Of course. And I mean, I've kept up with your career for a while. I mean, I've met you as a fan several times before IWC, and watching you over the years, I hated you respectfully because you were one of the best heels out there. You were putting in the work. I see your promos online, and what better of a payoff than winning that prestigious championship right there?
Yeah.
And you do your job pretty damn well. So congratulations and kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
I do got to ask you this though. I mean, you've been wrestling for quite some time. You just mentioned how long it took you to get to this title. What originally brought you into the wrestling business?
So, I grew up with a buddy that I went to church with. And I asked him to come over to my house, and he said that he'd be down to spend the night, but he wouldn't stay the night unless we watched Friday Night SmackDown. And I had no idea what Friday Night SmackDown was. So this was like 2007-ish. And I said, yeah, dude, whatever's going to get you to stay the night. So he came over. We were watching Friday Night SmackDown, and I just remember being in awe of what this business is. And the biggest thing to me was the Undertaker's entrance. I was blown away by the Undertaker. He's been my favorite since day one. So that was my first experience with it, and just falling right into love with it, and then watching it every week after that, every week, and then watching my first WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 23, Undertaker and Batista. Big rivalry, big come down for the big gold title. Huge fan of that. And ever since then, I just knew I had to do this.
And what better of a role model to have, I guess, than the Undertaker? I mean, that guy right there is legendary.
Yeah, he's definitely a phenom.
Definitely a phenom. Well, that took my question right out of my mouth was who's your favorite wrestler of all time? And I could definitely see the resemblance on how you kind of base your character a little bit too. Like I can kind of see the Undertaker vibes a little bit with the way you come out to the ring. You call yourself the Hammer Lord.
Yes.
Can you explain to me where that nickname came about and where your independent journey began as a professional wrestler?
So, the Hammer Lord, I originally was the Country Hammer.
Oh, the Country Hammer, okay.
Yeah, so I was the Country Hammer for years, and I was a babyface for years and years. And I never experienced being a heel until 2023.
Wow, that late actually.
Yeah, so it was a big change for me because I never was the bad guy. I was always the good guy. And I knew I had to change it up because the Country Hammer was just always cheered. It was Country Hammer, you know. It just sounded right. I was like, I need to change it up and have something that is not really cheerable. And you can't really cheer the Hammer Lord. I can't remember where I got the Lord from. I just was thinking of like, what's the highest power, you know? I wanted to be the great, that high of a power. So Lord came to mind, and I wanted to keep the hammer. And I remember a buddy of mine, he'd always tell me, when you eventually turn heel, you gotta use a sledgehammer. I was like, that's actually a great idea. So that's how the name came about. But my journey into professional wrestling, I moved straight to Louisville, Kentucky, right out of high school. And I trained at Ohio Valley Wrestling under Matt Capitelli and Rip Rogers for about 6 months, and had my first match there in 2015. And then I had to move home for personal reasons, and I finished my training with the IWC.
And now 10 years later, you're holding the championship of the IWC.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. And you've wrestled in a lot of great matches, and we'll talk about more specifically some of your more extreme matches in a second. But overall, beating Duke Davis. I know you had feuds with the likes of Elijah Dean, Victor Benjamin. I'm just speaking IWC terms. And then you've been in other places as well. What was your favorite match that you've had so far in your career?
That's a good question. There's so many. I'd say probably my most recent match with Elijah Dean.
That was a good one.
Bull rope match. That one felt great due to the story we were telling and pushing it online. And it felt right. Everything about it felt right because I don't know if you knew, but we grew up together and we backyard wrestled together. So getting to that high of a spot on the show against one another in that intense rivalry for the reset button, that's probably number one. And another honorable mention would be a triple threat match between myself, John McChesney, and Bill Collier. That was a huge learning lesson match for me, and just two of the greatest in Pittsburgh ever to do it. And I grew up watching them too as a fan, so to hear their feedback afterwards and their praise, really, it really hit home for me, and it was a full circle moment.
What a full circle moment indeed. And I mean, sharing the ring with some of those legends, especially in the Pittsburgh scene, the McChesneys of the world, the Bill Colliers of the world. You just mentioned your intense feud with Elijah Dean. I mean, looking back on some of that stuff down the line, I could definitely tell you're going to be appreciative of that. Yeah. And there's going to be some big moments. I feel like I kind of already know the answer to this, but in your career so far, professional wrestling-wise, what was your biggest moment that you would say? Would it be winning that IWC World Championship?
150%, because like I said, I was a fan. I started going to the IWC shows back in 2012. So watching all the people who have held that title and getting to add my name to the list is just huge for me.
Now, you're hated a lot by the IWC fans.
I am.
You are very hated. And, I mean, some of the feuds, you left Benjamin, hanging from a ring at one point in time.
Yep.
You left Elijah Dean laying in the ring. You left so many people in a puddle of blood. I mean, you've made your mark and you've made your intentions know that you were going to climb to the top and you were going to win the IWC title by any means necessary. And at one point in time, you were the winner of the reset button.
Yep.
Obviously, that didn't go your way. Took matters in your own hands. Now you're the champion. What can we expect from Jami Jameson going forward now that you are the IWC World Champion? We're going into a new year, 2026. Reloaded's right around the corner. What can we expect from you?
Any and everything, brother. More destruction.
More destruction?
Way more destruction. I have done and sacrificed everything to get here. So what am I going to do to stay here? Even farther. Even farther.
Now, I will say you're not alone in this journey. There's a man that I want to bring up right now, Xander Gabriel.
My best friend.
Your best friend. He's been around with you for a while. I've seen that you guys even been in tag team matches together before as well. Speak a little bit about your relationship with Xander and what he brings to the table.
So, whenever Xander broke into the business, we were already good friends. I wasn't the biggest fan of his character because he's just goofy. He's a goofy guy. And I was never big on comedy wrestlers ever. Still really ain't. And whenever I was brought to my attention that me and him were going into this together, I was like, I can't see how this works because I'm this big badass who beats the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And is as serious as they come. And we have Xander, this goofball. I was like, I don't know how this could ever work. And I've been proven so fucking wrong. So fucking wrong. He has evolved me way further than I thought he could. And the goofiness and the badass, for some reason it meshes. And we bring it together and people hate the shit out of us.
They really do. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, not just with Xander, but with a couple other people as well. You've been referred to as the Highway Outlaws. Am I getting that correctly?
Yes.
Where did that come about?
So me and Xander, we wanted to bring along Jason Tyler into the group, and because he never got the rub he should, so we wanted to bring him on and see how far we could get him, and me, Xander, Tyler kept coming up with ideas for names, and we couldn't really get anything right.
Mhm.
And I think it was Zach Nystrom who actually gave us the Highway Outlaws, because I'm like this outlaw, Xander's an outlaw, and Jason Tyler went by Big Rig. So
Big rig.
yeah,
Okay.
that's how it kind of came about.
And then now it's together. You guys are making history. Obviously, would you say you like being in single star a little bit more, tag team action, a little bit of both? Does it really not matter to you?
Definitely singles.
Definitely singles.
I had a little tag team run with Dan Hooven back in the day,
Okay.
like 2020, 2021-ish. I had a great time doing that with him, being a tag team, but tag team's not really my style.
No, you want to be able to be that badass, go out there, kind of do your own thing,
Yeah.
mark your own territory. And you mentioned before you were a babyface. You're now a heel. I'm assuming you like the heel role a little bit more, or do you kind of still miss being a babyface? Like, what would you prefer if it was your decision?
So when I was a babyface, I was like, there's no way I could be a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that down to my core, because I just loved the fans' support and all that. But whenever I got to do it, turn heel, something about the hate, it just feels great.
Right.
And like seeing how you can change how people view you,
Mm-hmm.
and really, I don't know how to explain it. The hate is so fun. It's so different. And I definitely enjoy being a heel so much more now. I don't want to turn face anytime soon, even though some people have talked about it, but I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, if you want my honest opinion, I would say stay heel. You are a really, and I actually mean this, you are a damn good heel on the independent scene. And I mean, keep it up with some of your work as well. You're not afraid to shed some blood.
Yeah.
And I've seen you shed a lot of blood in a lot of different promotions. And I spoke to Brandon St. James about this recently because he's into the death style wrestling, the death match scene. And I've seen you in similar matches before. One of them was that big barbed wire match, VCW against Beastman. I unfortunately couldn't make the trip because I was doing something. I got a gig to call RMU that night. But I saw it on my phone when I got home. I was like, my goodness, this is a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath.
When you have these kind of matches, like what kind of mindset do you have to put yourself into? Because BSJ kind of said he just goes out there and does it. I can only imagine, like, what's your preparation like, knowing that you're going to be pouring all this blood onto the canvas and then you're eventually going to have to clean up afterwards?
So it's nothing for me.
Really?
I grew up doing backyard wrestling,
Mhm.
and that's how I was back then. We did way worse shit than you can even imagine than we do now. But doing it now, it means more. No, there's no real preparation. I'm at home whenever I'm doing that shit. I feel like that's me in the zone. So I'd like to do it more than I do now, but I know it's hard on my body. I'm getting older now, so I should tame it down. But anytime I get the opportunity to do it, I'm always doing it.
What was one of your favorite moments, like, I guess, in those kind of matches? Was there a favorite match that stood out to you in particular?
Obviously the barbed wire match meant a lot to me because I grew up loving ECW, loving barbed wire, loving the bloodshed. So getting to step into that zone with Beastman, it was pretty serious for me.
And you also had a match. It was at the Aaron Woods house. I remember that one. I think we talked a little bit this off camera before we started. Felix Cause.
Yeah.
Casket match. I was a ref, by the way. I was cowboy ref for that match, so I'm very proud to say that.
You were?
Those kids were nuts.
Oh my God, they were so annoying.
Were they annoying?
They were.
Somebody dumped a beer on you, I think.
Yes. Yep. So I think Felix had me in a headlock or something, and I just tasted beer. It tasted like a horrible IPA. I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" And I remember he was dragging me around out front of the ring, and he was telling kids to stick candy in my mouth. But these kids, they were not your normal kids. They were wild children. Wild children. They were not putting candy into my mouth. They were beaming candy at my face. And I remember it was a lollipop. Lollipop hit me in the fucking eye.
Like the stick part of it or the actual lollipop part?
The lollipop.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, all right, we're absolutely done with this.
And you're bleeding already in this part. So you're bleeding, you have beer on you, you have lollipops being thrown at you. Fuck, happy Halloween, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, what a moment. What a moment. So when you're shedding all this blood and stuff like that, I remember specifically, I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit if you don't mind. 2PW, it was a show sometime early last year. I don't really keep up with them as much. I apologize. But you were doing a spot where you were having the money stapled to your forehead. That shit looks cool as hell. I'm not going to lie. That shit looks cool as hell. How do you even think of those ideas? I mean, obviously, like, other wrestlers have done stuff like that before, too. But, like, that doesn't hurt at all? Like a staple going in your forehead with a dollar bill hanging?
It doesn't hurt going in, but coming out is a bitch. Coming out is a bitch. I always make sure that the staple gun has 1/8 inch staples in it so it doesn't go too deep. But I've had them go deep enough that they're stuck in my skull. So, like, I'd have to take pliers to pull them out. And I remember the one time this one staple was stuck in there so good. Once I pulled it out, one of the pieces was still stuck in there, and we had to really dig it out. That shit sucks.
Like a splinter, but with a staple.
Yeah.
In the forehead.
I keep telling myself I'm done doing it, but every time I get the opportunity, I still
gotta jump on it.
Yeah.
Have you done skewers before or no?
Yes, I've done skewers in the backyard for the first time, and then the second time, which was the worst time, I wrestled a guy named Bronco McBride in a last man standing match at 2PW back in like 2018, and these skewers were like thicker than the normal skewers. And he had me tied up in the ropes, and he put them on my head, and he had a staple gun, and he smacked them in with the
staple gun,
with the flat side of the staple gun. He hit me like 4 times, and man, those skewers were stuck in there bad. I'll have to send you the picture of it because it looks gnarly.
Oh my god, yeah, definitely send me the picture afterwards. Holy hell.
Yep. So that was the second time I took the skewers, and then I believe the third and final time I took him was against Casey War.
Our guy.
Yeah.
It's our guy right there. Whenever you're taking so you took skewers, you've done that. Have you done glass before?
I've done light tubes.
Light tubes, close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough. What would you say was the worst one you've ever taken out of everything that we've talked about, or maybe that we haven't talked about? Has there been one that, like, maybe on that ride home you're like, fuck, that actually really did hurt?
So the worst one that I took was actually in the backyard. My one buddy, he put the light tube in my mouth and held it there and then jammed me into the post. And I don't know which side it is, but I got a mean scar.
Oh, I can kind of see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right there.
Yep. I was gushing blood. That was by far the worst light tube I've ever taken.
Was that for, like, when you say, like, the backyard, were you talking, like a backyard wrestling, like, for, like, a YouTube channel or for, like, okay.
Yeah, I had a backyard, or I had a wrestling ring in my backyard. My dad bought me.
Oh, wow.
Back in 2013. And me and my buddies from high school had the craziest wrestling parties. And, like, we'd invite everybody from the school, and we'd pack that backyard with like 300 people. And so we had crazy backyard wrestling matches.
I would imagine it's better than having lollipops being pelted at you while bleeding and having shitty beer dumped on you too.
Oh yeah. There's a YouTube channel. I'll get you the link if you want to see it.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll definitely do that. You've been across some other promotions. Obviously, IWC is the main one we both talked about because that's both of one of our homes.
Yep.
You've done stuff in other places, other promotions. You fought so many great wrestlers like we talked about beforehand as well. Is there some places that maybe you haven't been to yet that you would like to eventually get to? Is there maybe some companies or other places Jami Jameson would like to travel in 2026?
Yeah, I've been in talks with Channing Decker a little bit about getting me up to Toronto.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was actually gonna go up there back in, I think it was March of this year, but I separated my shoulder in February, so I had to decline, unfortunately. But I'm still trying to get out there. I really want to get out to Greektown.
Of course, from what I heard from Greektown is there's a lot of cool shit that goes on up there.
Yeah.
I've never been personally out of the country, but I mean, like, Canada wrestling's pretty darn cool from what I've saw. Like Greektown wrestling, I did this hybrid. I mean, I've done some stuff with Canadian Deathmatch, so that's pretty cool.
What have you done with them?
I actually called their most recent show. So Toddy and I was the commentary team. We didn't actually do it live. It was post-production commentary. We actually shot it in this room, of all places. Yeah, Toddy came down and we shot it right on this table. We put on a little laptop. But I think it was called New Noise, their most recent show.
Okay.
It was that one. And we did the whole show. It was a great show. I mean, it was PD Skills, Tyler Hill, Casey made his debut.
Oh yeah.
BSJ was there. He bashed a light tube over Jesse Mack. So it was some pretty rad shit. I mean, I personally never called deathmatch wrestling until then.
Yeah.
But they like the work, so I'm happy to return next year. Kevin, who's actually behind the scenes right now, the two of us are gonna take a trip up to Canada in January and try to go to their show. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
What's your opinion on deathmatch?
My opinion, okay, and I'll tell you the same thing I told BSJ. When I first saw it, I was just like, okay, these guys are just bleeding to bleed. Yeah. That was my original thought. I'm like, they're just doing to get a pop. But then when I started actually going to some of the stuff, Negative Outlook was one of the ones I went to down in Morgantown, West Virginia, 123 Pleasant Street. And I mean, like, it's deathmatch wrestling, but at the same time, it's like no ring kind of wrestling. Yeah. There's somewhat of a difference, but kind of the same thing. So we went there, we saw some no ring wrestling, and just seeing the way they were doing it and how much they put into it, it's not they were just bleeding. They were actually still trying to put on something for the audience. And I actually fell in love with it that night. Mm-hmm. Whenever I went down the Negative Outlook, I might have been a little drunk, but I still enjoyed it. It was a great time. I'm 22, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I went down there and I watched it. And I was like, man, this is actually pretty interesting. So then I started keeping up with some stuff on social media. And the one that I started following was Canadian Deathmatch of all people. Yeah. So when they reached out to me through my DMs, I was like, yes, let me jump on this. This is a whole new world because I was so used to the mainstream wrestling, like the AEWs, the WWEs, the TNAs. But then you see this whole different side of wrestling that you never saw before. It's like, yeah, this is like ECW shit my dad was talking about back in the day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they actually reached out to me a while back too, and I would like to get out there. But it was whenever I blew out my shoulder.
Oh, so, bad timing, yeah.
Yeah, really bad timing.
Damn, shoulders took you away from going to Canada a couple times.
Yep. Yeah, it almost took me away from winning the reset button.
So thank God that didn't happen.
I know.
That's why I wouldn't be here right now if that's not the case.
You're right.
You talked about the separated shoulder. Was that a wrestling injury or was that?
Yeah, I was down at 880 for one of their
Damn 880.
Thursday shows, and we were working on getting me and Gianni to a match at I think it was at one of their Penn Brewery shows. We were going to do a title match, and me and Gianni was having a little word exchange over the mics. It ended up going south as they normally do. Mm-hmm. We start tussling it back and forth a little bit. He hits me with a big boot. He did nothing wrong. I just bumped a little bit to my left side a bit, and it separated my shoulder. It was like a phase 2 separation.
Damn. Was this at the shop, like the South Side location?
The skate shop.
The skate shop, yeah, that was at the skate shop location? Yep. Oh, man. Would you say that's your worst wrestling injury, or would you say there was worse that you've taken so far?
That one's pretty bad due to the time I had to take off.
How much time?
Like 3 months.
Oh, that's a good bit of time for wrestling. Yeah.
But I've had really bad concussions. I've had probably 5 or 6 concussions since turning pro, and who knows how many concussions in the backyard. So concussions is one of my worst enemies.
I'm personally never had a concussion, thankfully, myself. But, I mean, oh, my God. I've heard stories from some wrestlers about concussions, how they derail it.
They are horrible.
They are horrible.
Horrible.
Would you ever take a thumbtack bumps before? I thought of that one, too, whenever I've done it. What's thumbtacks like?
It's not bad landing in them, but then coming up out of them, like getting up on your hands and knees, that's the worst.
Oh yeah,
the knees, oh my God. And I don't wear knee pads, so that's even worse.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to protect your knees. You're rolling around in them.
Yeah, and then you have hole punctures in your hands for weeks.
Oh my gosh, weeks.
Yep, because your hands are moving so much.
That's true. Yeah, because oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankfully not a wrestler, and the worst bump I've ever taken was a table bump. So I would take that. Yeah, and that bastard Andrew Palace, but that's okay.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Put him through a damn table for me, Jamie. Hit him with your damn hammer or something next show, please.
He's due to go through a table.
He's due to go through one. I mean, and there was no padding underneath that table either. I mean, I gigged the table, but still, like, there was nothing there.
Yeah, it was a good bump, though.
I appreciate that. I got a lot of people reached out to me that night, and they said, "Are you okay? Like, did you train for this?" And I'm like, "No, I was told tuck my head, and that's what I did." So
there you go.
Took the bump like a champ. Talking about some other stuff now, IWC Wrestling, 880 Wrestling, we talked a little bit of VCW and some other place that you may want to travel down the line. Do you keep up with any of the mainstream wrestling? Is that something that you're into at all, or do you primarily stick with independent wrestling?
I can't do it week by week.
Okay.
But if there's a big show like a SummerSlam or a Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I'm always watching those.
Always keeping up with those. Did you happen to keep up with the John Cena retirement tour?
I did watch it.
Well, you were the first wrestler that I'm having on since this retirement match. Okay. And I'm going to probably ask every wrestler going forward this. First of all, what's your thoughts on John Cena retiring to Gunther? And second of all, was it the right decision?
I loved the fact that it was Gunther. I think Gunther is the future. I think he is the top guy. So I like the fact that he went up against Gunther. I figured he was going to lose, and in the back of my head, I was like, maybe he'll tap out for his last match. I couldn't believe it actually happened, but it was in the back of my head. So I think it was the right choice to lose. I don't know if it was the right choice to tap out, but definitely putting Gunther over on the way out, I think was the move. So
I laughed my ass off when I saw on Raw he was leaving with AJ Styles was standing outside. I don't know if you saw this or not. And Gunther was like, "Oh yeah, AJ, one last thing," and then he hit the "You can't see me," and then he just drove off. And I'm like, of Gunther of all people to do it, like the most serious guy, it works. And if you want to build a monstrous heel, that's how you do it.
Yes.
And my thing is, I'm big on storytelling. John Cena for 20 plus years, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. The champ is here. Your time is up. My time is now. That was his thing for many, many years. In the end of the match, he finally tapped out. He's smiling as he's doing it.
Big smile on his face.
He knows that, he's not necessarily giving up, but he knows his time is up and he's ready to pass the torch over to someone else. So I think it was symbolic. I think it was a great way to end off a career.
Yeah, and you saying it that way, it makes sense.
And I understand why people also hate it too, because then you have the people online, oh, well, the same guy that tapped out the Jey Uso is now made John Cena tap out. Like, how does this make sense? Well, that's beyond our control, obviously. What about AEW? You keep up with anything over there at all, Dynamite-wise?
I watched like clips online.
Clips online?
I don't really know how to watch their pay-per-views, so
I'll be honest, I don't either. It's weird.
yeah. If I knew, like if I had a streaming platform that has it, then I'd probably watch some of them.
I'll send you a link where I pirate them at. We can watch the AEW, what is it, like the reset, or not the reset button, the Casino Battle Royal, whatever it is. Yeah, we'll watch it that way. No, AEW is doing a pretty good job, though, I've noticed. Do you have any maybe favorite stars that you've been keeping up with on the mainstream side of things? AEW-wise, WWE-wise?
Not really. I like to see what Wardlow does since he came from IWC.
Former champ, yeah.
But I haven't seen much of him in AEW recently.
Yeah, how about that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Funny story about Wardlow. He actually was the first IWC wrestler I met when I came to the shows back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
As a fan. He was the champion at the time.
Yeah.
It was the night where Andrew Palace actually beat him for the title.
Oh, yeah?
So I met Wardlow before, and I met Palace before, and I kept up a little bit, just seeing like social media stuff. But that was like my first real show that I went to.
What year was that? Like 2018?
2017, 2018. It was around then, yeah.
Where did you learn about IWC?
Where did I learn about IWC? Instagram, surprisingly, of all places. I saw some clips on Instagram because I was always big into the mainstream side of things. And when I found out about indie wrestling, IWC was surprisingly the first company I found out about.
Awesome. My
first show I went to, though, was a big-time wrestling show. It was BTW at the Washington Wild Things.
Yeah.
And it was Scotty 2 Hotty, Grandmaster Sexy. They were there.
Okay.
So my dad bought me tickets. This was really before I was into wrestling. I just kind of played with the action figures and saw stuff online. But I was sitting front row. They brought me in the ring. I threw out the headband and everything. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, I'm meant to be here. This is where I want to be. And I'm like 7 years old at the time.
Oh, yeah. That's sick.
So that's where I fell in love. And then commentary, obviously, broadcasting, tied that in. Now we're here.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
So what made you choose to do like commentary? Was that your passion? That's what you want to do?
In a way. So when I was younger, I used to like play with all the action figures with my little sister growing up. So we would like set up like our own like fake little wrestling shows and stuff like that. And I would always broadcast it. I would be like, okay, John Cena from the top, yada, yada, yada. And I'm always commentating something. Sometimes I'd mute the TV and like pretend that I'm the commentator. I loved Michael Cole growing up, loved Corey Graves growing up, which is weird knowing who Corey Graves is now and knowing that he knows me. That's when I first met him for the first time. I'll tell you a little bit more off camera about that. It was kind of surreal knowing that Corey actually kept up with me a little bit.
Yeah.
So being able to get advice from him was great. But calling wrestling like with my sister just in the room, then eventually doing like broadcasting at school, doing basketball, doing football, because I always had a love for some sort of broadcasting or some sort of PA, but wrestling is where it was at in my heart.
Yeah.
So then when the opportunity came to work for IWC, I did everything to get to the commentary desk. I did the video production work. I worked with Jeremy, 2-to-1 Media, all that stuff. And then I heard there was a commentary spot one night. I was like, hey, I have a resume. I have a demo. I know how to talk. Let me do it, please.
My man.
And Plummer was like, all right, let's throw the kid out there. Let's see what happens.
What was the first match you called?
First match I called was a Facebook free-for-all match, and it was a triple threat. It was Shelby Wilder, Johnny Mahalo, and J-Bev.
Okay.
That was my first match I called. It was a triple threat between them two. I don't know if I think I've called one of your matches.
Oh, really?
I think I've only called one of your matches so far.
Do you remember what it was?
That's what I'm trying to remember. Shit. I've done so much 880 these past couple months because there's the weekly shows, so I've definitely called one of your matches. I know I called your run-in whenever you came out and you attacked. Were you in that 8-man match against Duke and Palace and Barkley? Were you in that?
Yeah.
I called that one.
Okay.
I called that one with with Nick Lendl. Yes, I was on call for that match.
Cool.
I remember calling you out a couple of your spots before. I didn't call your most recent match. I wish I did. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But been doing commentary for a while.
Yeah, I don't watch all my matches back, so
Oh, you don't? Surprisingly.
yeah, you would think that you'd want to watch your matches as a wrestler, but I don't know. I'm my biggest critic, so like I cringe at some of my stuff. So, but there are matches that I like that I've watched and that I like. So,
What was one that you particularly liked watching back?
definitely the bull rope match.
Okay, the bull rope match. I mean, that one was a classic right there. I think I was actually on hard cam for that match.
Oh, yeah?
Of all things. I think I was on hard cam for that match. So
Yeah.
that was a good one. That was a good one.
And I watched all my matches with MV Young at 880. We did like Saga 4 matches. They were all
Was-
pretty brutal.
What was it like being in the ring with MV?
Loved it.
Loved it?
Yeah.
Have you experienced the MV chop?
I think so, yeah, because I gave him a big one across the back and he gave me a receipt.
He gave you a
has
receipt?
He has a serious chop.
They hurt. I took one right here in the studio. It hurt. Because I said it in the video, I was like, hey, I don't think you really chopped that hard. I think you're just kind of, and he chopped me, and I'm like, well, probably shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, King. You're the king of Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to lie, Jamie, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
I grabbed my chest. I'm like, and MV's like, I didn't even hit you that hard. I'm like, oh, I bet you didn't. Yeah, sure.
The worst chops I've ever experienced is John McChesney.
Ooh, John McChesney's?
He's got some serious chops.
Was it like lead the mark, like all the blisters
yeah.
start to
Oh, yeah.
form?
Oh, yeah.
Is he like more of a closed hand chopper, palm? Like how does he do his? Because like MV, the way he explained it was actually interesting. There's like a whole philosophy behind the way he chops. Depending on the size of the chest, he either does an open hand chop or a closed cup chop, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that.
I think he does the cup.
He does the cup.
I think so.
The cup also makes the sound too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like you get the little pop whenever you do it.
Yep, man, he's staring you in your eyes when he's doing it. Oh my god. If he's throwing a chop at you, you better get the fuck out of the ring.
Noted. I don't think I'll ever be in the ring with him, but if I ever found myself in that predicament, I'm out. I'm out. We talked a lot about some of your opponents that you've had on this episode before, and we talked about some of your future goals, but I want to know some specifics here. Is there any wrestlers that you maybe have not shared the ring with that you would like to share with the ring with going forward? Or maybe someone that you might want to revisit a match with down the line?
Definitely revisit a match with Bill Collier. If we could have like a serious one-on-one, like 15-minute bout, I'd love that. Sam Holloway.
Yes.
I would love a match with Sam. He's such a big guy, monster. I think me and him would tear it up.
Have you had a chance to work with Sam in the ring yet or not
No,
yet?
not
Wow, okay.
Not yet. So
That'd be a good one.
he's definitely up there. Trying to think of outside of IWC. I think I would enjoy a match with Cowpoke Paul.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I'm just drawing a blank now. Yeah, I'm sure there's others, but I'd say Sam Holloway or Bill Collier is number 1 and 2.
How about Sam Holloway getting out there too? WWE ID now.
Oh my god.
WWE ID championship defended at WC. That's big.
Dude, that's huge.
That's
huge.
Huge. The fact that I actually called that match is still kind of
Did you?
weird to me. I was play-by-play for it.
That's sick.
Me and Lendl. So
Sweet.
I'll take that match. Sam's good. I remember when I first saw Sam Holloway, I was like, this dude's gonna do something big.
Oh, yeah.
And that was at the time like when he had like the baby face kind of thing. Like he had like no facial hair, and now he's like all.
Love it.
And I'm like, yes, that right there.
Yep, that's
$1 million.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
The beard definitely helped him out.
It really does. It's crazy how facial hair can make you look like a wimp, and then make you look like you're a fucking $1 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I can't grow jack.
I can't either. That's why I just shave it off.
Me too.
I don't even try. I get like the patches everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, not at all. Not at all. IWC championship is sitting on this table. Have you held other championships and other promotions before?
Yeah.
What was some of the championships that you've held? We're going to run through this.
The first championship I held was at a company called Black Diamond, and I don't really consider it too much of a championship run. But
There we go.
yeah, throw it out the window.
Out the window.
But my first real championship was the 2PW heavyweight title, and I won it against Elijah Dean. So that was a huge match too. And then I won that title a second time against John McChesney. So another huge match for me. And then this is my third.
This is the third championship. I'm shocked it's only been 3 so far.
I know.
I thought it would be many more. So can we expect more championships then next year too?
100%.
There we go. Something that you do that I really like whenever, obviously, you're hyping up your matches is making like the promo packages and the video packages for matches. And what kind of disappoints me, I don't mean to go on a bit of a rant here, but a lot of wrestlers don't build their matches,
Right.
especially on the independent scene. And I get it, independence is a little different from mainstream. But if you're going to tell a story, you're going to want the audience at home to know. I know not everybody has Facebook and Instagram, but a lot of people are keeping up with stuff on social media before they come to these live shows. And to get an idea of who you are, you would want to put your stuff out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I try and do with my content, even though I'm not a wrestler. Like, I still want to put my podcast out there, put my brand out there, what I'm doing, what I'm calling. And it's been beneficial to me. So seeing you doing some of your video package, I saw some of the stuff that you did with Xander Gabriel. If you don't mind me pulling back the curtain on that, what goes into that kind of process? Is it Xander making the videos? Is it you making the videos? Do you guys have someone that like does it with you guys? What's that like?
So Xander, he does the majority of the video editing. Every once in a while, I'll throw out a little video that I've made. But Xander pretty much does the majority of it. We both talk about what we think we should post and what is best to put into the video. And then he pretty much puts it together. We talk about like songs and stuff like that. And then I don't know if you've seen one of my recent videos we did at the church.
Oh, yeah.
Razor Blade.
Yep.
So that video was all in my head for like a year and a half. I knew I wanted to do something big for a world championship run. I wasn't sure if I was going to win it. But that entire film was in my head for like a solid year and a half. And I talked to Xander about it, and we thought we should do it to the highest production level that we could. And I don't know if you know this, but Felix Cause, he puts out fantastic films.
Oh my gosh, amazing!
And his video quality is outrageous. His end product is perfection. So we came to him with the idea and ran everything by him, and he gave us great feedback on what we should do here and how to do it here. And he pretty much he nailed it spot on from what I was picturing. So.
Wow, and I've seen some of Felix Cause's work too. I mean, the most recent one for Reloaded, actually, of him like bouncing around on the chessboard.
It's great.
That's something you would see out of a movie. I thought I was watching Toy Story at first. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, awesome stuff. He needs to be pushed to the moon.
I fully agree. I feel like 2026 is going to be a big year for Felix Cause. It better be.
It has to be.
It really has to be. And I mean, the video packages really go such a long way too, because again, you're not just competing in the ring, as we both know. You're telling a story. You're actively trying to get across your character, what you're trying to do, what your enemy, or I guess your opponent, is trying to do. And again, I'm going to give kudos to you on that. You're one of the few wrestlers I've noticed that actually does that.
Yeah, thank you. I actually just talked to all the wrestlers at IWC and gave them a whole rundown of what you need to do. We need to use media. We need to work promos. Media is here for us to use. It's a free tool. You got to use it. It's only going to help you.
Yeah.
And it's helped me immensely with Xander over the past 2-3 years. It has changed my career and turned me into the person I am, the wrestler I am, and the champion I am now today.
Totally agree with you on that. I mean, if you have Instagram, Facebook, and free editing apps, even like CapCut, why the hell would you not want to use that?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a second. Even if you just want to grab the phone real quick. Okay, guys, new episode out now. Or, okay, guys, I got a match this weekend.
Yep.
Hey, you're putting yourself out there. There's somebody that's going to see that.
Yeah, even if you have a little spot on the show, like, take that little spot that doesn't seem like much and take it to the media, push it on media, make it as big as you can on the media so that people remember it, people believe in it, and people want to see more of it.
I fully agree with you on that, Jamie. I mean, over at 880, you've probably seen my stuff online. Obviously, I get picked on by the Leaders by Example over there. That's kind of their thing. They kick me off commentary, whatever. We don't need to talk about them. But my thing is, even though I'm a commentator and I don't really have that big of a role in the show, my job is to put over the wrestlers. My job is to sell you guys, make you guys look like $1 million. If they're going to come over and pick on me and the camera's going to be on me, I'm obviously going to clip that and post it on my socials, because that's right there is me putting myself out there. Hey, I did this week. Even if it's not kayfabe-wise, like saying like, oh yeah, I was involved in a storyline with the wrestler, or oh, I got to call this really cool spot. Something I'm actually doing, which is pretty cool. The WWE ID match I called with Cappuccino Jones and Sam Holloway. I'm going to clip some of my best calls from it. I'm going to put it all in one big video and throw it up on Instagram. and then tag like IWC page can be a collab on it, Sam can be a collab, and that's just our way of everybody winning in there.
Yeah.
IWC gets out there, I get my voice out there, Sam and Cappuccino, they get their work out there.
Yep.
It's a win. Even the ref that's reffing the match, everybody gets a win in it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And I really wish that more wrestlers would do that.
I'm sure that, especially with the talk that I had with the guys at IWC and even Elijah Dean, he talked to them. I believe 2026 is going to be a huge year for IWC and the talent that we have.
Dude, I fully agree with you. I fully agree. IWC got some good talent going in the next year.
Great talent.
We talked about what we can expect from you in 2026 with you talking with the IWC talent and Elijah Dean and some of the other stars over there. What can we expect from the overall product as a whole? We got Reloaded again coming up in February. That's the first show of the year. You've gotten to work closely with the roster, competing against some of them, working behind the scenes. Do you feel confident with IWC going into this new year?
Oh, yeah, 100%. IWC in the past 4 or 5 years has only grown so much with the production value. I remember when Orion came in, I know he got a little bit of heat backstage, but this man has turned IWC into a whole new realm. And the 2-to-1 media stuff, like it's so good. It literally feels like a production there.
It really does. They put on some really good, like, quality work. And I've gotten to work closely with Jeremy behind the scenes, like even helping editing the shows before I got in the commentary. Dude, that stuff looks like $1 million. It looks like something you'd see on like USA Network or Fox.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, IWC isn't just an indie show. It's a production.
Fully agree. Fully agree. What other sports are you into? Do you keep up with any other sports outside of pro wrestling, or are you just all pro wrestling?
I am not into any.
You're not into any sports.
Nothing.
Not a sports guy. What are some of the Jami Jameson hobbies outside of wrestling?
I like to lift weights.
Lift weights? Get them gains.
Yeah, I do. I actually do leather work. So I like re-leather WWE championships, like replicas, for people put in orders and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think I might be hitting you up then for a 2 Jagoffs championship because I've actually been looking for someone to make me one. So
right on.
There we go. We'll talk after the show on that one. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you do to keep yourself busy in your hobbies? Like, are you a big music guy, video games, anything like that along those lines?
I'll play video games every once in a while with my brother. He drags me into it.
What does he make you play?
We'll play WWE every once in a while, like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, GTA.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's really about it. I'm going to ask you one last question today. We've had a great conversation, Jamie. I really do appreciate you coming on and doing this. It really means a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to the IWC as well with the brand new champion right around the corner. But I've asked this question to politicians. I've asked this question to wrestlers. I've asked this question to pretty much everybody that has ever sat in the chair that you're sitting in. And you've listened to my stuff, so you probably know what I'm about to ask. You already know what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
What's the favorite restaurant? What's the go-to place to grab a meal? I'm a fat ass. I'm hungry. What is it?
Redfin Blues in North Shore.
You were ready for that.
Yes,
you came prepared.
Yes, I was.
You knew I was going to ask you that.
I did.
You? Okay. Where's that one at?
North Shore.
It's in the North Shore. And what exactly do they sell there?
So they're big for their seafood. I'm a big seafood guy.
And you know I'm probably not from listening to my episodes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not.
I am a huge fan of crab legs, and they do all-you-can-eat crab legs there.
Okay.
So me and Dan Hooven, I don't know if you know Dan Hooven.
I'm familiar with the name.
Me and him will go down there and crush crab legs. We'll sit there for hours.
Just hours.
Bodying crab legs.
Is it pricey or is it pretty affordable?
The first time I went there, it was like $59.99, and the last time I went there, it was $89.99. So it's just going up.
I mean, everything's going up.
Yeah.
What did you say? Like seafood is like your favorite food, or do you like? Are you a picky eater?
I am not a picky eater.
You eat anything?
I think my favorite food is a nice medium rare ribeye steak.
You can't go wrong with steak.
Yeah.
I just had steak earlier today. That's good.
It's so good.
So good. I mean, you know me. I'm a burger fry guy. I'm plain Jane. Keep it simple. Put some cheese on it. Put some bacon on it.
Yeah.
I obviously am not in shape. I'm skinny. I'm built like a toothpick. So I mean, there's really nothing coming for me right now. But I mean, I'm young, so I can kind of eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
Eat like garbage.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, if you did pick a restaurant that I would like, there's a new standard here on the podcast now. Ted Black, a guest we recently had on, he said the Duquesne Club was his favorite.
Okay.
And he actually took me there.
Oh, really?
afterwards. So I might have to start looking. I'm not going to do it to you because I don't like seafood, but I might have to start looking at some guests going forward and be like, you know what? If you're going to come on and you're going to give me a restaurant, after all, I mean, you can maybe treat me to it afterwards. I mean, like, if I was able to go to the Duquesne Club, who knows where we can go, but I will pass on the crab legs. Respectfully, I will pass on the crab legs.
Right on.
Any snacks that you're into? Big snack guy at all?
I am not a snack guy.
Not a snack guy? No chips, no pretzels, none of that shit?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nope. I'll snack on some wings or something.
You know what? That's fair. What's the sauce? What's the dipping sauce?
I like honey barbecue or Thai chili.
Okay. No ranch?
I'm not a ranch guy.
Not a ranch guy?
Nope.
It's either hit or miss. You either love it or you hate it.
Yep, I'm not the biggest fan.
You know what? We'll take that one. Jamie, you're the man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah,
I really
brother.
appreciate you coming down and doing this after a long day. I'll give you the final words. Is there anything you want to leave with the IWC fans, two Jaguars fans, or just anybody that's listening to this episode?
Yeah, if you are a fan of WWE or any of the bigger wrestling promotions, think about supporting independent wrestling because it is a huge, huge deal for the wrestling world. We are the future stars of today.
I love that. Couldn't agree more. Jamie, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. And thank you guys all so much to listening to Two Jaguars. We'll definitely maybe have to do something again next year after a couple more matches in 2026. See how that goes. Bring you back as a returning guest. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget this Thursday, we're doing our NFL week predictions. There's going to be the playoffs right around the corner, so you're not going to want to miss it. I'm Austin Cairns. That's the Hammer Lord, Jami Jameson, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.